Hi, everybody. I want to congratulate all of you on the launch of the Asian American Foundation. I know how much work has gone into this moment, and I could not be more proud. As you know, the Asian American and Pacific Islander community has shaped this country from the very beginning. And for me, it's a little more personal than that. Growing up in Hawaii, growing up in Indonesia, the Asian American and Pacific Islander community was my community and helped shape who I am. Members of my family, including my sister, my nieces, are Asian American. And as president, I depended on people like Stephen Chu, Gary Locke, Chris Liu, Tina Chen, Dr. Vivek Murthy, Vanita Gupta, and your president, Sonal Shah, to help deliver on the promises that we made to the American people and to take on new challenges. So this community is part of who we are. It's part of who I am. And as the fastest growing racial or ethnic group in the country, it's clear that if America is going to continue to succeed, the AAPI community needs to succeed too. What's also clear is that throughout our history, we haven't always treated Asian American and Pacific Islanders the way they should have been treated. It's a dark stain on our history, and we need to be clear that attacks on Asian Americans are attacks on all of us. Discrimination against members of the AAPI community may not be new, but the recent rise in anti-Asian violence is alarming, and it has to end. We need to do more to root out the patterns of hatred and violence in our society. We need to get rid of some of the stereotypes that feed that hatred and violence. That's why my message today is simple. We're here for you and for all the members of the AAPI community who need our support. So thank you for everything that you guys are doing, and best of luck.
What we're trying to do is break a number of generational cycles.
By forming a group, we can have a voice together.
And we are speaking up.
The creation of the Asian American Foundation is more than just about responding to an isolated moment. It's about fundamentally transforming how we invest in the AAPI community.
Not only are we coming together, but we are also learning from each other. The only way that we can stand up is if we do it together.
It's just part of being a human and caring about the person next to you, regardless of what they look like.
This has to be an all-out effort and it has to be action-oriented.
We need to make people aware and we need to unite and stop the Asian hate.
Keep talking about this, keep discussing it.
We need to create an America that belongs to all of us.
People around the country are starting to unite based on a common theme, which is equality.
We can learn from all the movements. Collective power works.
We're all similar. We're all the same. We're all in this together.
Create, as Dr. King called, the beloved community.
We need to rewrite, really for the first time, the full history of this country.
We are making our mark to preserve our legacy.
And the America that we envision has to be about access to opportunity, belonging to America. We need to define ourselves.
What we're trying to do is break a number of generational cycles.
By forming a group, we can have a voice together.
And we are speaking up.
The Asian American Foundation is coming together
to support Asian American leaders
who know how to make change. Block by block,
community by community.
We will serve 23 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders
in pursuit of belonging
and prosperity.
We need more opportunities. We need more representation. We need a seat at the table.
Our story is America's story.
Join us.
Tell the world I'm coming.
In the past year, there's been a sharp rise in hate and violence targeting the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. This recent spike should be disturbing to us all, and so should the long history of anti-Asian discrimination in our country. This issue has been close to my heart for a long time. As president, I signed an executive order to establish the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, the very first executive order in U.S. history aimed at improving the lives of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders by addressing systemic inequities and making sure that our government reflects America's diversity. That's why I'm very proud to be a part of the launch of the Asian American Foundation, or TAAF. This new organization will address the long-standing lack of investment and resources dedicated to the AAPI community. I know TAAF will help to amplify the important work already being done to stop AAPI hate and help to fill in the gaps where we can and must be doing more. This country is home to 23 million members of the Asian American Pacific Islander community. There are friends, family, neighbors, colleagues, Americans who deserve to feel a permanent and irrevocable sense of belonging and respect in their own country. So TAAF's president, Sunil Shah, and to all of you board members and supporters who've worked so hard to make sure TAAF has the resources needed to make a big impact, thank you. I'm confident this launch marks the beginning of something truly extraordinary as we come together to create greater opportunity and prosperity in the Asian American Pacific Islander community. And as we continue to face these unprecedented challenges together, I wish you much success. I want you to know that you have many, many allies on the journey that lies ahead, and I'll always be one of them.
Greetings to those assembled for the inaugural gathering of the Asian American Foundation. I applaud TAAF's mission to serve the Asian American community and help protect them from discrimination, slander, and violence. Asian Americans are an integral part of the strength and cultural fabric of the United States. I was proud to have members of the Asian American community serve in my administration, including cabinet members Elaine Chao and Norm Mineta. And I'm grateful they play important roles at the Bush Institute. In my new book, Out of Many One, I painted American immigrants who have contributed to our society. When I showed Tia Suzuki her painting, she said, "For the first time, I feel seen." It struck me that an accomplished American citizen felt that way. And it broke my heart when she told me that her parents, who escaped danger in Cambodia, don't feel safe in America right now. This is a period when we all need to examine our souls and ask how we can do a better job caring for our fellow Americans. When we see anyone being harassed, bullied, or mistreated, we need to step up and defend against what I see as a decidedly un-American sentiment. And TAAF is doing just that. Laura and I send our best wishes and gratitude for the cause you are taking on. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.
We are 23 million strong.
From big cities to rural towns, classrooms to kitchens,
hospitals to boardrooms.
We'll rise together. We are part of the fabric of American society.
When one of us is threatened or assaulted, it is an attack on all of us.
An attack on America.
When you're feeling hopeless,
there's a disturbing surge of racist attacks against Asian Americans.
When you're feeling low,
you're marginalizing us and you're telling us we don't belong.
When you're in the darkness.
For too long, our stories have been erased.
We've been fetishized.
Othered.
Scapegoated.
Murdered.
We will always speak out against violence and discrimination wherever it occurs.
Only love can light it up.
Time and again, our community has beaten back hate.
We've built change from the ground up.
We organized. We rallied.
We expanded equality for all Americans.
We served.
We built community and opportunity for the next generation.
Together. We have been beaten down and counted out.
But together,
we rise.
That's why the Asian American Foundation has come together to serve 23 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders.
Block by block, community to community.
And work to support Asian American leaders who know how to make change.
In the pursuit of belonging and prosperity.
Our story, is America's story. The Asian American Foundation.